My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here. Today is June 12, 2023. It is 3:36 a.m. So far in the middle of the night, I've done pretty well. I finished edit one video. I just recorded one tweet video, and now I have some energy to record this witness statement. So let's continue. Let's go on the witness statement. Where did I left off? I think I left off 149. This paragraph I finished, and I was supposed to start 149. So let's continue. Okay, the whole article feels highly suspicious to me from my knowledge, more so given what I now know about the reputation of Dean Archewell and this litigation. I'm not even sure it makes sense. I think it contradicts itself. How will anyone, even the friend that I was out with, know that Chelsea had called me exactly 12 times, especially if I was taking the calls away from them for fear of embarrassment? If I wasn't comfortable with my friends knowing these details, why will I come back and discuss this with anyone at the palace, especially in the detail that reflect in the quotes in the article? I would have done that anyway, as I was so guarded about who I spoke to about Chelsea and the prospect of me going out to serve because of the security risk. Okay, paragraph 150. With the benefit of hindsight, I think the defendant's journalists must have obtained either mine or Chelsea's call data and listened to our private messages to make the kind of comments in this article. My solicitors have shown me a contribution payment request paid to Julian Gavaron for £500. Oh my God, so little amount of money for all of this nonsense. Okay, which has the description, quote, Harry, don't be a hero, end quote. The title of the article, seeing examples such as this inevitably makes me wonder what else they've heard and decided was too risky to print for fear of exposing themselves. My goodness, can you think about, my God, things that you thought you're talking, oh my God, that's really, really, really intrusion. Just think. All right, when you're talking with your partner, certain things you say to each other, you don't say to anybody, but there's that third person, and this is beyond sick. All right, I was furious when I was pulled out of the plane for Iraq and was aware of the role the press coverage had played in this. This article once more shows it's not my career and professional life that the defendant's journalists were interested in, but very private. Raw emotions between me and my partner. It's so violating. Yeah, it is. It is. And then you have all these grown ass people thinking, oh, Harry should not be doing this. He's what's that word this guy used? Not manipulate, destroying the court systems in some form. I don't remember his exact word.
I actually think this is a car crash for British justice, for the British justice system, because this is actually quite laughable what is happening here if it wasn't so serious. The Prince Harry, in my opinion, is damaging the institution that is the British legal system, because he's using it and abusing it. And you are completely right when you were talking about the influence of lawyers keeping this alive, because they have made millions because they have made millions. I actually think this is a car crash for British justice. I actually think this is a car crash for British justice, for the British justice system, because this is actually quite laughable what is happening here if it wasn't so serious. The Prince Harry, in my opinion, is damaging the institution that is the British legal system, because he's using it and abusing it. And you are completely right when you were talking about the influence of lawyers keeping this alive, because they have made millions. I actually think this is a car crash for British justice.
But it was crazy. My goodness. Okay, especially after Harry have used IPS also many times and they keep on rejecting him. And he has to rely on the court. Alright, 151. The Paddy Haverson call data shows a call made by MGN to him on 3 March 2007, the day prior to this article being published. As I've said previously, it is obvious MGN were trying to gather information about me using unlawful methods, especially given what Paddy knew about my movements operationally. Wow. Okay, 111. Just hurry up. Mirror, 7 September 2007, Victoria Ward. 152, paragraph 152. This short article, which was published on page 9 of the Daily Mirror, has several photographs of me and Chelsea at Heathrow Airport. It includes photographs of Chelsea both before and after airport security. After she had just landed in London from South Africa, it reports that I had gone to the wrong terminal to collect Chelsea, which meant I was an hour late to meet her. Okay, paragraph 153. This story is true. My PPO had got the terminal wrong and I was late to meet Chelsea. I wasn't worried about her reaction, but I was worried about her safety for the reason I discussed earlier in this statement. I knew if she had come through customs, she would have to wait in the public arrival area and would get swarmed by the paparazzi who always seem to know our travel plans. Another coincidence I could never understand given the security measures in place and the fact we kept these details to ourselves as far as possible, although according to the caption of the photographs in the article, photographs of her were taken while she was still moving through passport control and security. I don't understand how. When I arrived, we ended up swarming by photographers trying to go up the stairs with some in front of us, some of them behind us, following and bumping into us all the way to the car. It was suffocating in the airport. You've just trapped and all that after a long flight. I'm not even sure how the defendant's journalists would have known I was at the wrong terminal as I hadn't left the car. So no one would have seen me, but probably would have said this to Mark Dyer over the phone or in a voicemail. 112. Davy stated, The People, 16 September 2007, Dean Wasselwell, Royal Editor. Okay, paragraph 154. This article, which was published on page 9 of The People, was written by Dean Waswell and marked as Royal Exclusive. It includes a large photograph of me. On the other side of the page, a large photograph of Chelsea, both of us looking quite serious. It reports that The People was able to reveal that our relationship was in crisis after a string of bitter bust-ups. It went on to state that Chelsea and I had 3 how do they know the exact numbers? 3 monumental roles with a breakdown of the details of each of the purported roles. The article includes an extensive quote from a palace source about my relationship with Chelsea and her feelings, along with a quote from a fellow student of Chelsea's from her university in Cape Town. I can't recall the specific role that are detailed within this article, but I do know that this was particularly strained time for us as a couple. We did break up a couple of times during the course of our relationship, and this article may have been written around the time of one of those breakups, but I can't be sure. Chelsea had moved to England and we had hoped we will be able to see each other more, but my military commitment meant I actually did not have much time to talk to her, let alone see her. She'd moved her whole life, but I was working from 5 a.m. until around 9 p.m. Even her being based in Leeds felt difficult, especially as I was always worried about being followed and photographed, so I was reluctant to travel up there. There were a lot of difficult and testy conversation about this. Okay, 156. This article is just needlessly intrusive into mine and Chelsea's personal life, and she in particular did not deserve to have these details published to the world, especially when she had moved country and was able to start a degree. She was only in her early 20s, needed to make new friends, yet the world knew these details of her life, and the stories were never flattering to her, making it look like she was putting up with being neglected by me. This kind of article just added to the existent strain on our relationship, while no doubt entertaining those that wrote it and read it. Our lives were entertainment for them. Paragraph 157. I really cannot understand how the defendant journalist obtained such specific details for this article. However, given what I know about Dean Roswell's activities, I find it very suspicious. I certainly wasn't discussing our relationship and these kind of details with anyone inside the palace. Given the hours I was working at the time, it's likely Chelsea and I did exchange voicemail even more often than normal, so I now believe that this information must have come from the hacking of our voicemails. 113. Hooray, Harry's dump. Sunday Mirror, 11 September 2007. Zoe Griffin and Nick Owens. Paragraph 158. The article, which was published on page 9 of the Sunday Mirror, report that Chelsea and I split up and that I had been on a night out to drown my sorrow. The article features a large photograph of me seemingly from the night out that the defendant was reporting on, along with a small photograph of the nightclub I was at, another of my father, and one of me kissing Chelsea's cheek. It was co-authored by Zoe Griffin and Nick Owens. I understand that it has been shown in this litigation that Zoe Griffin was a commissioner of the private investigator firm Commercial and Legal Service, and Mr. Owen was a user of Dan Hanks and a prolific user of commercial and legal services. 159. Along with the photograph, the article reports my arrival time, how I entered the club, and who else was with me. It even reported that I wasn't required to pay the entry fee. This is another occasion of where the defendant journalists or paparazzi engaged by them seem to know exactly where I was, so they could be there at the right time to get their photo. I did go to this particular nightclub, Amica in Mayfair, on a few occasions, but as I said previously, my movements were never intended to be public knowledge. They were intentionally kept confidential for security reasons. So how did they know? The whole narrative of the article seems designed to make me look bad. It's another attack on me for doing what most of my military colleagues were doing, just enjoying an occasional night out. But it's only me that's under the microscope, having to endure all the details being published to the whole country, even details of the balance of the tab. I doubt that figure is accurate, but feels intended to me look irresponsible, frivolous. I always felt like the tabloid were hoping for something more, for me to get worse in some way, to give them even more to say if I snapped. Paragraph 160. What also struck me about this article is the reference to the fallout between me and Chelsea. Again, how will they have known this? My solicitors have shown me an invoice for the agency BDI dated 9 November 2007 with the subject, quote, Project Harry, end quote. I understand BDI are well known in this litigation for their unlawful activities, the timing of the invoice, and the fact the defendant's journalist produced such a detailed story in the Sunday edition of the Mirror about a night out that had happened on Friday makes me believe that they were undertaking unlawful activity to try and uncover personal details about my relationship to include in the article to make... I'm starting to feel kind of sleepy. All right, let's read what's there and then I'll stop. Okay. There were also a number of suspicious calls made by Paddy Harbison the day prior to the publication of the article on 10 November 2007. It is clear to me that MGN were digging around my associates in order to gather private information about me. Okay, about me and his role as my father. All right, so I'm gonna stop now. I got a little bit tired. 39, I finished page 39. I'm gonna start page 40. How many more? There's a good portion. Page 39. Yeah, I'm gonna stop right now. I'm feeling sleepy. All right, so that's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Any new subscribers, welcome. All right, so that's it.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.